Welcome to the Blokes Podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Greg, and we sit down once a week to shoot the breeze. We chat about anything and everything. Sports, films, drinking, politics, music, etc.
So sit back, crack open a beer, and enjoy. Mate, back in the virtual pub. Another week.
I love it. Oh, man. I look forward to this every week, dude. I'm feeling a lot better this week. Last week, I was struggling.
Yeah, I could sense a lot of burnout, a lot of tension there.
There was a little bit of tension. It was getting to me a bit. But, yeah, this has been a good week. It's been good. Been keeping myself busy, been socialising as much as you can, over the internet, not in person really at the moment, but been watching films, listening to music, been a lot of stuff, reading, so it's all good. I've had a good week. I feel a lot more refreshed than last week.
Good. Great. Well, I'm ahead of you on the beer. I think I've already started. Yeah, I was getting dangerously dehydrated, nice and thirsty. So I started strong. I've got a Hatherwood Golden Goose Ale today.
Okay.
Went on a bit of a Lidl spree today.
Ooh.
Got like 4 or 5 different beers, a few different bits and bobs. And this one jumped out at me today. So yeah, this is 4.5 Golden Ale. Nice little, straight down the line. Plenty of hops in there. Quite bright flavoured. So that's going down a treat so far.
Great.
How about you?
Great, sounds good. Well, okay, so I'm coming at it a different angle today, okay? But I think it's going to be useful for all of those listeners out there. I'm going for a non-alcoholic beer.
Oh, yeah, big talking point. Okay.
Now, here we go. I just thought this would be a good thing to talk about, exactly. So this is the Brooklyn Lager's alcohol-free beer. So Brooklyn Lager's alcohol-free beer. And I thought I'd try it out because I think you and I we adopted the alcohol-free beer during, we've used it a lot. So if one of us is driving, or that's the only reason we use it. Really, actually, I don't think either of us have ever, neither of us have like hankered for an alcohol-free beer if we could have the normal one. But so it's just the perfect accompaniment for someone who's driving. So it's important to know what's good out there, and there are some good ones.
Exactly. And recently, of course, there've been a huge explosion of different brands bringing out their best crack at a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah. So, this I thought I'd give it a go. I love Brooklyn Lager. It's one of my go-tos, actually, if I'm in a pub, and they got it on tap. So, let's...
Waiting for the verdict. Here we go.
Okay. That is super fruity. Doesn't taste like normal Brooklyn Lager. I've got to go in again. Sorry, give me a sec.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Brooklyn Lager itself is quite contemporary tasting, isn't it? Like there are loads of sort of copycats. It's that in that sort of Camden Lager, Camden Pale.
Exactly right.
It's that neck of the woods, isn't it? Yeah.
Totally. So this one's interesting. Very sweet. Bordering on not beer tasting. It's almost too sweet.
Oh, wow.
It's very strange. Like, it hit me with fruit as soon as like a really fruity pale ale, but with none of the bitterness, none of the... Yeah, strange. I might have to give you an update halfway through this.
It
doesn't taste bad. It doesn't taste bad, but...
Well, I mean, the main thing is, does it taste like alcoholic beer? How close is it?
It doesn't. So far, not very. To be honest, it tastes.
Okay.
It's almost like a fruit drink, a fruity kind of drink. There's very little beer taste there at all. It's very sweet.
What do they call it? Like, what's their name for it?
They call it the hoppy lager.
Right.
So I guess they're trying to go.
So I guess it's that halfway house between an ale and a lager. Then is it that sort of American pale sort of thing?
Exactly. That's what it seems like. And it's 0.4%, so there's a tiny bit of alcohol in there, but which is, I think, higher than most non-alcoholic beers. Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know sort of like the Bavarian one and the Heineken one, they're all 0.0, aren't they? And Beck's Blue 0.0. And I think, I mean, for a long time, Beck's Blue was the sort of only thing you could get, wasn't it? I remember, like, just feeling resigned, like, can I have a Beck's Blue and a glass, please? Because I'm going to pour it straight out of the distinctive blue bottle, so no one knows I'm drinking this. So yeah, I remember many nights, like, especially on gigs and stuff, like, because we'd drive to gigs and have a car full of gear, but we'd also want a few beers, but the only option was Beck's Blue. But nowadays they brought so many out, like what's the who makes Punk IPA? Brewdog, that's it. So the Brewdog non-alcoholic called Nanny State is the best I've had. That's quite
Nanny
popular.
State's good. I've got one of those in the fridge actually as well.
Nice.
And I think it's a good idea to have a couple like just stocked up.
Definitely.
Just as a practical point. Just if you've got some friends coming around, they want a beer, they're driving, it's good to have a couple.
Exactly. Yeah, that's 0.5 as well, isn't it? So again, it's sort of like super low alcohol, but it's still got a little bit in there. But I think that's the one that tastes most like regular beer.
Yeah, I think I agree with you 100% on that. The other one I've had that I really enjoyed was the Ghost Ship ale.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Non-alcoholic ale.
Is that
That was good.
Adnams Brewery?
Yes, you got it, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was very ale-y tasting to me. I really struggled noticing much difference there. It felt very authentic. I think that's really low though, like 0.2%. So, but yeah, no, that's a definite good shout if you fancy it. But so far the Brooklyn one's possibly the least beer tasting non-alcoholic beer I've ever had. Just
right,
very strange. Not bad, but it just doesn't taste like beer. It tastes like a fruit drink. Interesting.
Well, I've got a little surprise. Well, not really a surprise, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something slightly differently, like you were going for non-alcoholic. When we get to the whiskey part, I've got something for you. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm expecting another surprise every single episode, by the way. So you better keep them coming.
I need to get the gavel.
That needs to be ready pre-recording, Adam. Okay. We need that. Yeah. Who knows how quick we're going to agree?
No, I like it live, man. I like it. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Love it.
Gavel down.
So have you been up to anything in particular this week? Anything jumping out?
In fact, yesterday I spent the majority of the day in front of the telly watching old England football games. Mm-hmm. So they were playing the 1966 World Cup final on Channel 4. Yeah. And I thought, I've got to have a piece of this. Like, I'm a huge Patriot football fan. And obviously I've seen all the clips and heard all the commentary and stuff, the famous lines, and they think it's all over, it is now, and all that sort of stuff. But I thought, this is a perfect time to just watch the whole game and really get in the zone and have a good day, you know. And it was good fun. It was great, but it seemed like Channel 4 thought that we might get a little bit bored by watching a football match. So they basically plastered it with, like, over-the-top chatter. And they split the screen, so there was football on one side of the screen, and then the other side was just like Glenn Hoddle's crappy webcam, basically. Mm-hmm. And you know, nothing against the people that were on there; they were talking about interesting stuff, but it completely ruined the game because you just couldn't watch the football. Yeah, and it was like took all the tension and excitement out of the game, and then every now and then Gabby Logan would be like, "I think there's an equaliser coming up," and you're like, "Oh, for God's sake!" Like, I mean, I know we won, but please, you know, there's got to be a little bit of excitement or a little bit of tension or something. So I had to wash the taste away after that by watching Gaza run through Scotland in Euro '96 straight after that. So ITV have got all the Euro games. So I watched a bit of that, and that was much better. Yeah, the world was right. Teddy Sheringham, Alan Shearer, all my era, that.
That's prime time, our era, absolutely, Perfect.
I mean, I know I was young, but when I was sort of under 10, that was my big football fanatic stage. Sure.
Yeah, I think because I caught the end of it because we were talking about it being on, and I was looking forward to it. My partner wanted to go for a long walk mid football, and Yeah, I wasn't in a position. I hadn't earned enough boyfriend points at that point to say no. I hadn't accrued enough throughout the day to say no to that.
You didn't have enough in the bank, man. Oh, that's the worst. Always keep a few in the back pocket, man.
I'd cashed them all in, dude. We'll maybe talk about why I cashed them in there later, but so that was a no-go for me. So I came back just before the hat trick. Just before just in extra time, basically. First half of extra time. Nice. So it was it was amazing to watch, but it did strike me that they were just constantly nattering over the top of it with really weird questions, I thought, as well. Yeah. And half the time, the guys they were asking questions didn't answer it. They just had a point, like a little fact they wanted to say about the the World Cup final that is a little fact that hadn't been mentioned yet that they knew and they wanted to get it in there. So a couple of times, just the question was completely ignored. It was amazing to watch, and I did watch some of the lead up. So they did all those sort of games leading up to the World Cup, which I thought was quite cool. Give you a little overview of it.
Definitely, the color video is incredible as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that blew me away as well, actually.
Yeah. It's a bit really like cool. The coloured World War II footage that they released recently on Netflix. That's incredible stuff. I mean, it must have taken ages for them to do it, but it makes it so real. It's vivid, isn't it?
It's amazing. That the World War II documentary on Netflix at the moment is just, it makes it far more real. It makes it so visceral, and it hit me so much harder when I watched it, because when you watch it, something in black and white, it does lose a bit of power. It kind of feels like, well, that was then, that couldn't happen again. That's something that's it's almost like it's a film almost. It doesn't feel real. It's almost like fiction. Yeah. But as soon as you put colour in it, it became very, very real, and it was just like, scary stuff. Amazing to watch. I would recommend anyone watching that. And I learned a lot. I like to think I know quite a lot about World War II. It's sort of in my wheelhouse historically, but I learned a lot from that. It's really cool. So so I did watch a couple of films this week, actually.
Nice.
Now the first one, I think I don't know, maybe you won't like it, maybe you will, but I don't know. Is a Pierce Brosnan classic, but not James Bond. Okay. It's Dante's Peak. Oh, right. Okay. Have you seen this one?
I've never seen it. No.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sell it to me, baby.
Okay, you ready? So Pierce Brosnan. Okay. Not only is it Pierce Brosnan, but the leading lady in it is, and I'm getting her name out because I've forgotten it, is Linda Hamilton. Do you know her?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Cool. Great. So Terminator lady.
Yep.
And Pierce. And there's a volcano involved. And Pierce is the volcanologist coming to the town, and he's got this gut feeling. This volcano is going to blow any minute.
He can feel it in his waters.
Yeah. The mayor doesn't believe him. Other volcanologists don't believe him. Everyone's going against him.
Because he's a pretty boy. Scientists don't look like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's begging him to stay. You got to stay. You got to help. This is going to go. And it's going to be big. No one believes him. And just as they're about to leave the town, obviously the stuff hits the fan. But yeah, it's a really good film. I love it. I watched it when I was younger, so I kind of have a soft spot for it. But this is kind of the bigger point I wanted to talk to you about. The reviews are brutal.
Really?
26% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, okay. Wow.
Now I'm sitting there really enjoying it, and I think I wanted to find out Linda Hamilton's name. So I couldn't remember her name, so I was Googling it whilst we were watching it. And the reviews, obviously, one of the first things that comes up. Yeah. And I was really enjoying it at the time, and I just couldn't get my head around these. I mean, obviously, it's not a work of art in any shape or form. It's okay, but it's not 26%. That's just unbelievable. Yeah, So I wanted to ask you, how do you use review sites, or do movie critics now, do they sway your opinion before going to a film or deciding on it? Or are they a little bit irrelevant now, do you think?
Good question. I think movie critics, professionals, I pay a little bit more attention to them. However, the internet, as we very well know, is just full of morons. So, it's just as easy for a moron to review a film, just like it is for them to doctor Wikipedia entries and give terrible TripAdvisor reviews and that sort of thing. So yeah, always a bucket load of salt, I think, when it comes to morons online. So obviously none of our listeners are morons. They're the good lot. But I mean, I'm looking at it now, and it looks great. I mean, just from the stills and stuff, he's looking